35 meetings over the last 5 seasons between two teams is a lot of getting to know each other. The series has been very one-sided since the beginning of 2007, and the Phillies have put those 59 wins to good use, earning 5 straight division titles. The Nationals have defended their home turf during their foes' last 2 visits, and 2011 hasn't been so lopsided. The Phillies host the final 4 meetings, and they start with a double dose next. It's another busy day here at Citizens Bank Park. It's the first of a day-night doubleheader against the Washington Nationals. It's also the final home series of the regular season for the Phillies. It's the first of 4, and the Phillies with 98 wins. Well, with the Brewers' loss last night, the Phillies have assured themselves home field advantage throughout the postseason. That includes the first, the second, and the World Series here in 2011. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Gary Matthews. Wheels will be around in just a little bit. Well, this is the final series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. And, Sarge, the way the season series has gone, the Phillies are happy that the finale is here at Citizens Bank Park and not down in D.C.
Yeah, you're right about that. I'll tell you what, those Nationals are pretty tough down there in their own ballpark, and they are getting better as a team. Take a look at what they did there the last time. Their walk-off in grand style there. Zimmerman going deep for the game-winning grand slam. Johnny Gomes getting hit by a pitch inside by Brad Lidge there. Those were 2 victories there, too, by those Nationals. And again, I said they are getting better. Take a look at what they've done this season, home and away there. Fighting Fields 4-1 there at home. Feeling a lot better there, scoring a lot more runs. I'd like the ERA there too, Tom.
4.38 earned run average down at Nationals Park. Now this afternoon, the Phillies will try to take the first of this day-night doubleheader. It'll be Kyle Kendrick in game number 1 and Cliff Lee in game number 2. So we got a lot of baseball coming up here in Philadelphia. Kendrick today will be opposed in game 1 by left-hander Tommy Malone, who's making his 4th start in the majors this season. So Kyle Kendrick has gone from the bullpen to the rotation, back to the bullpen, back to the rotation. He's done a nice job for the Phillies. The lineups and first pitch for today's game 1 when we return. Bank Park, the Phillies are getting set to take the field, and The lineup that Charlie Manuel is out there is a little different than what we're normally used to. Pete McCannon's exchanging the lineup cards with Davey Johnson, the manager of the Washington Nationals. And quite honestly, the lineup for the Nationals is a little different than what we're normally used to. Let's take a look at the Nationals starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop is Ian Desmond. Roger Bernardino, the right fielder, bats second. Rick Ankiel hits third, followed by Chris Marrero, the first baseman. Lance Nix bats fifth. He's in left field. Danny Espinosa, the second baseman, bats sixth. And the bottom third of Flores, Lombardozzi, and Malone, Tommy Malone, who's getting set to make his fourth appearance here in the big leagues. And they'll face right-hander Kyle Kendrick. Kendrick's done a nice job this year for the Phillies, whether it be as a starter or a reliever. Overall, he's 8-6 with a 3.22 earned run average, and he's pitched in 2 games so far against the Nationals. In fact, he kind of made a spot start the last time the Phillies were down in Washington against them.
Spot start because Roy Oswalt was supposed to pitch that night, and they had that long rain delay, and Kyle came out and did a really nice job in that game. This is what he's done so far, and he's the designated starter for the first game of these split doubleheaders. It just so happened that they were on the 5th day. This has been on the 5th day for him, so it was a perfect time for him to pitch and for Cliff Lee to pitch game number 2, the same thing they did last week. Here's the Southwest Airlines scouting report. Obviously, he is a ground ball pitcher. He's faced Washington quite a bit. Good his last time out overall. His earned run average is a little high against the Nats, but they know him. He knows them. And even though, as Tom said, some of their regular guys aren't in there, there are quite a few guys in this lineup that have played against the Phillies and Kendrick before.
So far for Kendrick here at Citizens Bank Park this year, a 3.29 earned run average, 8 starts, 8 relief appearances. So this will break that tie.
Well, it's time now for Nissan Keys to game number 1 here this afternoon at Citizens Bank Park. Charlie Manuel's club trying to win number 99. Well, facing another rookie finesse pitcher today. We'll talk more about Tommy Malone later, but he is a soft tosser from what we've understood. And another start for Kyle Kendrick, another chance for him to, what he tries to do is impress him enough to be in the starting rotation. But at this point right now, they kind of have a plethora of riches as far as starting pitching goes, and he's number 6.
Oh, he's done a good job as the number 6 guy. He'll get set to face Ian Desmond to lead it off. Desmond's 1 for 13 for the Nationals, or was 1 for 13 on the most recent homestand. Overall hitting .247 with 8 home runs. And the first pitch of the day from Kyle Kendrick. Take it outside, so we're underway. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
The last time the Phillies saw this guy, he hit that heartbreaking home run to left field with 2 strikes off Antonio Bastardo to tie that game. Then they lost it in extra innings.
Eric Kratz is doing the catching today. This is the first time since spring training that Kratz has caught Kyle Kendrick. Kratz had a very nice year this year at Lehigh Valley and getting a chance to play for the Phillies. Grew up in Telford, Pennsylvania. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Desmond. Just off the inside corner, 2-1.
Nice to have another catcher up here like this. To be able to give the other 2 guys a little bit of time off, give Eric Kratz a chance to play. He has played in the major leagues. Of course, he's not a guy that has never had any big league experience.
On the outside corner at the knees, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ian Desmond this year against the Phillies, 10 hits and 53 at bats with the 1 home run that Wheels talked about. He's probably a little out of place as the leadoff hitter for the Nationals, but they don't really have anybody else that they're comfortable with on a consistent basis.
Yeah, he really struggled in this role early in the season. And I think the Phillies threw up an 0-for on him. That was when before Davey was here as their manager, Davey Johnson. And, they do move him around. He has a lot of ability, though, this guy.
2-2 the count to Desmond. And he tried to check. Doesn't matter. It's called. Strike 3. 1 away. Here the first.
They have a chance with Desmond and Espinosa up the middle to be pretty good.
Time to take a look at our Mazda leaders, and Kyle Kendrick is among the leaders at victories here at Citizens Bank Park. Cole Hamels is first with 41. Ryan Matson, who has started before, has 28 victories here at Citizens Bank Park. And there's Kendrick, 5th behind Jamie Moyer.
Surprising Matson would have that many wins, though, because you say he has started, but not much. Those wins are out of the bullpen.
A lot of them are out of the bullpen as a setup guy or as a 7th inning guy.
And more, right, exactly. More before he became a closer, obviously.
Here's Roger Bernardina. He has spent most of the year down in the minor leagues for the Nationals. Overall in the big leagues, hitting .242 with 6 home runs and 21 runs batted in. He also struggled on their most recent homestand. He was 0 for 8. Two-seamer stays low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He gives him some speed when he gets on base. They can do some things with him. He can steal bases.
Pitches .250 this year in 46 games with Syracuse. Quite honestly, after last year, I think a lot of folks thought he would be in the plans as one of the everyday outfielders for the Nationals. But, you know, even though he hit 11 home runs, hit 47 runs batted in 2010, they felt like he had to work on hitting the breaking ball. So they sent him down to AAA to try to work on that. It's even 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bernardina. Kyle's pace is a little slower in this first inning than it was in his last outing. As you see the splits between this year and last year for Bernardina.
Well, a lot of it has to do, I think, with working with a new catcher.
Oh, Katz grabbed it and then grabbed it out of the air. He hung on to it. It's a strikeout.
Yeah, he popped that. He turned around to look at the home plate umpire. Say, "Do you see what I just saw?"
Then I thought he dropped it after he had it in his bare hands.
Yeah, well, as long as it doesn't hit the ground, it's an out. And watch what happens. It pops out of the glove, straight up in the air. Boom, catches it. You see Carlson look at him like, okay, that's a strikeout. Right? Nice job. Don't see that very often.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and it's no balls and 1 strike to Rick Ankiel. Mark Carlson's behind the plate here in game 1. Alan Porter's at first. Tim Timmons is at second. And Eric Cooper's around at third. Ankiel lofts it to straightaway center. Victorino has a beat on it. 13 pitches for Kyle Kendrick. A 1-2-3 first. Couple of strikeouts, a little help from his catcher. We go to the bottom of the first here at Citizens Bank Park. So it'll be a much different lineup in game 2. Let's take a look at what he has in store for the fans here today. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino. Wilson Valdez is back in the lineup for the first time since the 10th of September. John Mayberry's over at first base hitting third. Hunter Pence bats cleanup. Ben Francisco hits fifth. Eric Kratz makes his first start in a Phillies uniform. He'll hit sixth. And then Orr, Martinez, and Kendrick. And they'll face 24-year-old left-hander Tommy Milone.
Tommy Milone is the 100th, officially the 100th USC product to pitch in the major or to play in the major leagues. And that great program, University of Southern California, produced so many Major League Baseball players, and he's number 100. There are the numbers on him. And in the minor leagues this year, unbelievable control and more strikeouts than innings pitched.
16 walks in the minor leagues and 148 in the third innings. And Shane Victorino will lead it off. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Not supposed to be a real hard thrower. This is what we have on him from the Southwest Airlines scouting report. 86 to 89, curve, cutter, change. And his times to the plate are very slow. So see if they may think about trying to run on him if guys get on.
In his career in the minor leagues, Malone threw 516 2/3 innings. He walked only 84. So to say that the opposition puts it in play, well, that's an understatement.
And he gets a lot of strikeouts too for, a guy who, when you read his numbers and stuff, he has to be a finesse guy.
Victorino this year, 288 with 17 home runs, 61 runs batted in.
Watching him warm up, he threw a cutter, he threw a sinking fastball, he threw a changeup, and it looked like a breaking ball of some kind.
Inside and low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Victorino's 4 for 16 so far on this homestand. Batting leadoff in game 1 of this day-night doubleheader. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, is there. And there's 1 out here at the bottom of the first. So Malone gets the first out. Former 10th round draft pick in 2008. And there's Chase Utley, who gets the first of this day-night doubleheader off. Pete Orr, sitting next to him, is making the start at second base. Nationals are throwing 3 left-handers at the Phillies in the next couple of days,
and
including today and later on tonight.
Right, in Atlanta tomorrow. As you said, Tom, Charlie, with this lineup in game 1, and he said, I'm not going to play all my regulars, and I want to play more guys with Cliff Lee on the mound. He said, no offense to Kyle Kendrick. He'll do the best we can to win behind him, too, but he feels that he owes it to Lee.
Here's Wilson Valdez, who was shut down on the 10th of September because he hurt a hamstring sliding into second base. No balls and 1 strike's the count to him, and he fouls it away. Valdez in the second half of this year hitting .279 for the Phillies. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Quincy Richardson of Philadelphia. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's game 1, then Quincy will win $200.
Fastball's topped off at 88 so far. Had him at 89. So he's going to be a guy that's going to try to get you out with off-speed stuff like that. He looks like a classic left-hander who wants to pitch away with his changeup a lot. And if you're going to have any luck with him, you're going to have to hit the ball the other way.
And a called strike 3. So that's the first strikeout of the day for Malone. Well, later on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, and it's a busy day in baseball. The Marlins will host the Braves. That's a 7-10 start. Delgado against Sanchez, and the Braves, well, they lost a heartbreaker last night.
Wow, they lose one of those punch in the gut games last night.
And St. Louis will host the Mets. That's at 8:15. Mike Pelfrey against Edwin Jackson.
Cardinals did a good job here this weekend in what they had to do.
Well, they're 2.5 games behind the Braves. The Giants are 3.5 games behind the Braves. And Cardinals are 2 games in the loss column. The Giants are 3.
Fans missed it last night. We're talking about 2 outs in baseball. Hey, you have to get that 3rd one. 2 outs, nobody on base. Bonifacio hits a high chopper that Chipper Jones lost in the lights. And then Infante hits a 2-run home run.
His first ever walk-off homer.
Unbelievable finish in that game, and the Cardinals evidently were watching it downstairs because it happened right after the game ended here, and they had quite a good time watching that baby.
And one of the big features in that Braves Marlins game were a couple of at-bats from Mike Stanton. He hit 2 of the longer home runs you're going to see hit.
Looked like he hit 1,000 feet worth of homers. Oh, they were long ones.
1-2 the count to John Mayberry. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It'll be very interesting to see how the Braves shake that one off. Those are crushing games at any time, but especially this time of the year when they're in a little bit of a free fall. And the homer was off Kimbrel.
Second home run he's given up in the last couple games. A spinner by Mayberry into right field, a base hit.
Talk about hitting it to right field. Well, he did that by accident. That was a changeup right off the end of the bat. That Lucas Duda took him out to dead center on Sunday. I was just watching that game in the afternoon, and it was unbelievable the way he got on top of one of Kimbrel's fastballs. And you saw he had a high fastball out last night to Infante, and you wonder if maybe he's lost a little bit of hop off it, pitching so much the way he has this year at such a young age.
Well, it means that the Phillies' opening round opponent in the National League playoffs is still up in the air.
Very much so.
2 outs for Hunter Pence. Pence is 7 for 25 on this homestand. A lot of at bats. He's played every inning of every game, and he takes strike one.
He may play both games today as Victorino, and then Charlie said both Victorino and especially Pence are going to get a little bit of downtime.
Pennsylvania, the penthouse, certainly has become popular. And he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Somebody just brought a lady down here right below us in the front row. That shirt, that Pence shirt about let's eat.
Let's go eat.
Yeah.
Good game. Let's go eat.
She's putting it on the front row below us right now.
Well, his T-shirt jerseys and his game jerseys, I mean, they've been popping up all over the ballpark.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is. See, she's putting it on right now.
Maybe that's good luck.
Yeah, I saw the gentleman come down and hand it to her, and she was really excited. So it has a tag on the back. Hey, look at this, huh? And my guy's up right now.
One and 2 the count to Pence.
Nope, they just found out they're on TV.
Ground ball right side. That's going to sneak through. Espinosa got to it. It didn't sneak through, but it's an infield hit for Hunter Pence.
They're really taking it the other way, aren't they? Just the way we screw it up. Talk about accidental hits the other way, but it's working.
Pence kind of limping back to the first base bag.
Espinosa gets to this, but because of the way Hunter could run, he had no play. He jumped on that bag. We hate to see guys jump on the bag. Yep.
Well, 2 on, 2 outs here in the first. Ben Francisco's the hitter. Francisco lines it right at the third baseman. And the side is retired. Pence is really limping between first and second. Let's hope he's okay.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left for the Phillies here in the first. We go to the second here at Citizens Bank Park in a scoreless ball game. And shop at the Phillies at Phillies.com. You can browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Shop the Phillies.com shop. We go to the top of the second here at Citizens Bank Park. Chris Marrero will lead it off for Washington. Marrero this year in the minors hit .300 with 14 home runs and 69 runs batted in. And so far here in the big leagues, he's hitting .280. He's the nephew of former major leaguer Eli Marrero, who played for a number of teams, including the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. Marrero was a first-round pick of Washington back in 2006.
Yeah, they have a chance to play a lot. They're really excited about their future, Washington, and why wouldn't they be? They've made a lot of progress.
In the air to left field, playable for Ben Francisco. A few steps from the track, one away. Well, we talked about Hunter Pence going into that bag a little hard, and he was walking around. He said, I'm good, as he looked into the dugout. Said he's loosening up. Probably figured I want to get moving a little bit just to try to loosen it up.
Whatever he did, and hopefully he can shake it off. That guy is so durable.
Lance Nix is the hitter. 16 home runs this year for Nix. 44 runs batted in. And a ground ball softly hit to second. Pete Orr charges. And Kendrick now has faced 5. He's retired all 5. That's his first ground ball out. As a starting pitcher this year, Kendrick is 5-4 with a 3.39 earned run average. Overall, his ERA is 3.17 because out of the pen, he has an ERA of 2.76. Danny Espinosa is the hitter.
Espinosa's hurt the Phillies this year with some home runs. Hit 2 off Cliff Lee in 1 game. He has 19 homers, leading all National League rookies in that category.
A switch hitter batting left-handed against Kendrick. And it's strike 1. It's 1-1.
Pretty good second baseman, too. Has a lot of athleticism in his game.
Well, those are his numbers against the Phillies. .313, 5 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Against the rest of the league, he's hitting .226.
Yep. He has both Halladay and Lee in his book.
There's Doc, who pitched last night. Cliff will pitch tonight. Line drive to right field, and Hunter Pence is right there. Takes that sinking liner, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Kyle Kendrick. He threw just 9 pitches, 22 overall. We're through 1.5. We go to the bottom of the second. Still Nationals nothing. at csnphilly.com. Eagles will return home this weekend to take on the New York Giants. We go to the bottom of the second. Nationals and Phils scoreless. Game 1 of this day-night doubleheader. All right, you're on TV. Happy birthday. Nice way to celebrate.
Put me on TV. Huh?
Well, if that's the only gift she wanted,
she got it.
We've obliged.
Right. That's quite a gift.
Eric Kratz will lead it off. Kratz this year at AAA hit .288.
A great job with that sign.
All the different colors.
Yeah. This guy's got some serious power. I saw him in spring training hit some homers. Balls into the wind.
He had one of the longest home runs we've seen down at Sarasota, the home of the Orioles.
Right.
Little number foul. Was called up to the major leagues for the first time last year at the age of 30. And it was at the AAA All-Star game in Lehigh Valley. And he went to Pittsburgh. He wound up getting 34 at-bats last season. Signed as a minor league free agent by the Phillies. And then put together a solid year at Lehigh Valley.
This guy has a really good changeup. And left-handers amazing how many can throw changeups and throw them well.
Towering pop-up. Foul territory up the third base line just a hair. One away.
Has a power hitter's pop-up.
Sure was. That one went right up the silo. So Jesus Flores takes care of Eric Kratz. That'll bring Pete Orr to the plate. Orr has 6 at-bats in this homestand. He's 0 for 6. He's made some really good defensive plays, though, while playing second base. He's hitless in his last 13 ABs.
Interesting to see now what a left-handed hitter does, whether it takes a changeup away from him. A lot of these left-handers do not like to throw changeups to left-handed batters. Cole Hamels, he doesn't care.
On the hands, a slowly hit ball to first. And there are 2 outs.
2 fastballs.
Michael Martinez making his 24th start over third base. He's in a little bit of a rut. In fact, Martinez and Orr a combined 0 for their last 31. Martinez playing third today for Placido Polanco in game 1. They appeal. No swing, says Alan Porter. And it's 1-2 to Martinez. Batting 8th. Kendrick is up next. Ground ball to third. Lombardozzi's throw pulls the first baseman Marrero way off the bag. I don't even know how he caught that ball. And Martinez is safe at first. That'll be an error charged to Lombardozzi.
Hey, pretty good ups down there at first base. As you said, time to catch that. Lombardozzi, father Steve, former major league player. Not a tough play at all. Easy hop, just airmails it. Almost got him, but missed the tag. That's a good call by the firm first base umpire Alan Porter. You see he misses him way up in the air.
And now Kendrick, who is hitting over 200 this year, 227. And he takes a strike right on the block. It's 0-1. Kendrick has 5 hits this year at 22 at bats. All 5 are singles. A grounder left side. Lombardozzi will get another chance, and from the infield grass throws out Kendrick. For the Phillies, no runs, no hits. They leave one. There was one Nationals error. We've completed 2. We go to the 3rd here at Philadelphia. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, today's layup is this. Name the Phillies player that hit 3 home runs in a doubleheader at Washington in May of 2009, May 16th to be exact. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning.
Why would you call that a layup?
Well, because I know your memory, and you were there.
I got to go along with you on both of those. I think
I'm glad you remember that you were there and you weren't at the Cavaliers-Sixers game.
No,
I
wasn't across the. No, I went at the Spectrum. It would have been tough to be. I remember that day. It rained that day. In fact, I believe that was the same night that the banner fell on Sarge in Game 2. We can look at it. We can look it up.
That's a good memory because I remember the banner falling. Of course, I don't remember what day it was though.
Yeah, well, it was the second game of a doubleheader.
Here's Jesus Flores. Flores is hitting .231 on the year. 2 for 5 against Kendrick in his career.
Only wish I'd have been there to see that. Oh, that had great television.
The tarp falling on top of him.
I saw the replay, but
yeah, it was funny.
Be there in person had to be so good.
He was like a fish caught in a net.
Oh, I could just see him flopping around under that banner.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Flores. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Flores was picked up by the Nationals several years ago as a Rule 5 selection from the New York Mets. And if you asked anybody that was with the Nationals at the time, they thought this kid was going to be an everyday catcher for them for the years to come.
Yeah, he got hurt and it really set him back.
0-2 pitch to him. Fouls it away.
Guy who really liked him and still does is a guy who knows a lot about catching, and that's a guy back on their bench now, Pat Corrales. He really was high on this guy, but all the injuries really retarded his progress.
Off the end of the bat to shallow center field. Here comes Victorino. Catch all the action of the 2011 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox and TBS. The excitement begins September 30th with the Division Series on TBS. Legends are born in October. Now, where the Phillies wind up, well, that remains to be seen. They could either be in Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks, or they would either be here taking on the Diamondbacks, here taking on the Brewers, or here taking on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
All depends on how everything is laid out at the end of the season.
Right, no matter what happens, they can't play the Braves in the first round because you can't play somebody in your own division.
The season ended today. The Phillies would play the Diamondbacks.
Right. We got a one-hitter for me and Kennedy last night.
20-game winner, first in the National League.
You know, there's no team that gets a postseason and say, "Oh, we just handle them. That'll be no problem." Doesn't work that way. You're going to have top-notch pitchers or two if you can get to postseason play, and in a 5-game series, it's nerve-wracking when you're playing those things because somebody can knock you off.
2-1 pitch to Lombardozzi. Little flare to left field. Here comes Francisco. He dives and he picked it on one hop. He made a nice effort after it, but that's the first hit of the day for the Nationals.
And a lot of people still think that was an out, but he did. He trapped it and then he tried to sell it a little bit. See right here, you can see the hop, probably a big short hop is what that was. It was very noticeable. But he did a good job with it, trying to show it to the umpire, and maybe he caught it.
Here's Tommy Malone, the pitcher, who in his first major league at bat with his first pitch hit a 3-run home run.
You know, we'll take the bat out of his hand. See that? I mean, you see pitchers sacrifice all the time with one out. Get to the top of the order, maybe knock in a 2-out run, but no.
The man is 1 for 4 in his major league career, including a homer.
You know, we'll take the bat out of his hands, at least on that pitch.
12 for 44 in the minor leagues during his career, 273.
They're still looking for it, like maybe he missed the sign, which he did.
And he bunts it back toward the mound. The sacrifice is successful. Up to second goes Lombardozzi.
Wondered what he was doing swinging there.
Well, maybe they gave him one pitch.
I don't know. I heard some whistling coming from that dugout. Like, go check out Bo Porter again, son.
Davey Johnson took over the 26th of June. His Nationals are 32-41.
Notice he didn't get a real big, nice going from the manager for bunting him over. Davey's a little bit old school. If he missed a sign, that's annoying.
Here's Ian Desmond with a runner at second base. Desmond struck out looking his first time up, and he's hit by a pitch. That is the 7th batter that Kendricks hit this year.
All right, just a running sinker that he didn't get out of the way of.
Seemed very disgusted about the fact that he was hit by a pitch.
I don't know. He didn't have very good swings his first time up. You know, I guess he's up there thinking, I'm going to knock in a run this time.
Bernardino also struck out his first time up, 1 of 2 for Kendrick in the game. Line drive, base hit it to right field. Around third, holding there is Lombardozzi. Nearly went through the stop sign. Good thing he didn't, because Hunter Pence threw a one-hop strike right to Eric Kratz. Bases are loaded.
You think of a conversation I had last night with Larry Baugh after the game call, talking about a few things, and Hunter Pence's name came up. And, you know, he's just echoing what everybody says about Hunter Pence. You would never teach what he does. There are the brakes being thrown on right there, and rightly so, as Tom said. Here's Pence. Now watch how he sidearms this thing. Bo says, you know, it took me a little while to understand that sidearm throw is supposed to tail and be wide of the plate, but he knows where to start it, and he gets it right on the plate. And he says, I finally stopped getting guys thrown out by him.
He has 10 outfield assists this year. And Keel takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And when you throw from that arm angle, the ball has to tail. It just does. So normally it's going to go wide. And in his case, he evidently starts it at enough of an area that it comes back towards the home plate area.
Fly ball left field. Long run for Francisco. And he slides and he missed it. It's a foul ball. He got to the spot with that slide. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, what the outfielder will do here is slide to stay away from banging into the wall. And as he slid, he went past the ball. So it certainly was a ball that could have been caught.
Ground ball to second base. Pete Orr is there, and he throws out Ankiel. Good job by Kyle Kendrick to work out of a jam here at the top of the 3rd against the Nationals. Good job by Sarge to try to work out of the jam that he was in down in D.C. back in 2009.
There it was.
ChevyDealer.com. By AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Well, you go, girls. That's exactly what you're supposed to do when your brothers have to go to school. Make sure you're in your Phillies garb. They won't know.
That's another really good sign. They didn't know, but they do now.
Yes, they do. If not, somebody's going to tell them.
Oh, yeah.
Victorino leads off the bottom of the 3rd. Each team with 2 hits so far. No runs. Victorino popped out his first time up, and he takes low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Second time through the lineup now against a finesse guy like this. And, you know, see if they'll have a little better idea. But I like watching the way he pitches. He pitches inside enough, too, to be effective away. A lot of these left-handers with good changeups don't pitch inside much. But he does. He cuts it inside a little bit. Just enough to get him off the plate, I think. Or make him aware of inside. Like here they go back in. And that pitch right there can make a changeup so much more effective if you show it to a hitter.
Nice play by Lombardozzi, who spins and then comes to his feet to throw out Victorino. 1 away. So Malone has 1 out. Lombardozzi's dad was a heck of a defensive catcher, and he showed some pretty good defensive ability on this play.
Yeah, because Shane smoked that thing, and he's playing way up in case Victorino bunts. And that was a good play. That was a reaction play. Pops up, makes a good throw. Had a little trouble with the throw last inning.
His dad was part of the '87 World Championship team of the Minnesota Twins.
According to Larry Anderson this morning, a former teammate of his. Or did he just play against him? There was so much going on in there this morning, I don't know. That was, Sarge calls that room of ours a sitcom.
Yeah.
It was today. It was absolutely a sitcom today.
Inside, 1-2.
You know, I guess you just leave people hanging with you, but I can't even. Where do you start?
It began when the Nationals changed who their starting pitcher was for game one.
Just one thing after another in there today.
Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
With Larry complaining about that, and then John DeSangro, who's as good a guy as you ever want to meet and will never agitate.
At the perfect time.
At the perfect time when it got quiet, came walking through the door like it was on cue and said, "Hey, do you guys know the Washington Nationals changed their pitchers?" Oh! The timing was impeccable. And we were accused of setting Larry up with that, and we did not.
Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Valdez.
Sang really made our morning with it.
It was great.
Did it look like a TV show? Okay, your turn. Your part. Come on in.
Back toward the middle. Espinosa surrounds the ball and throws out Valdez for the second out. So 2 away. It'll bring John Mayberry to the plate. Mayberry singled his first time up. Mayberry has one of the 2 hits for the Phillies today. A little bloop over into right field that just barely got to the outfield grass. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
Watching a guy out there this afternoon who there's nothing overpowering, there's nothing really special, but has an idea of how to pitch, and he's a left-hander, and they can't throw the ball straight.
Should be an easy play for Danny Espinosa on the edge of the outfield grass. A 1-2-3 third inning for Tommy Milone. So Milone and Kendrick so far have matched zeros through the first 3. We go to the 4th here at South Philadelphia. Uniball with Una Super Ink that never leaks. Who but WB Mason? Well, it's an overcast day, but the Fanatic certainly brings a ray of sunshine. And a few moments ago, he's taken some photos and then got a little frisky.
Oh, boy.
He's got 2 games to be part of today. He's just getting warmed up. Chris Marrero leads it off for the Nationals here at the top of the 4th. Kyle Kendrick has allowed 2 hits so far through 3. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. As we laid out in our open today, the Phillies and the Nationals have played 14 games so far. This is the 15th. And even though the Nationals have been teetering around last place or fourth place all year. Phillies are only 8-6 against Washington.
Well, the Nationals feel comfortable in playing the Phillies.
Down low, 3 balls and 1 strike to Marrero.
A lot of times you'll beat clubs like this by intimidating them and just beating them up, but it hasn't been the case. They've played pretty good.
To right center field, Pence got a pretty good jump at it. Even though he still looks like he's hobbling from that knee, he makes the catch toward the alley, 1 away. Well, here are the numbers this year. Nationals with 6 wins, Phillies with 8. Phillies have hit a little better average-wise than the Nationals, both with 13 home runs, and the Nationals surprisingly have pitched better than the Phillies this year.
Yeah, I think really the hitters should be able to handle their pitching staff a little bit better, but just hasn't been that type of year this year.
Lance Nix grounded out his first time up, takes strike 1. It's 0-1. Now, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
No.
At this point, because the Phillies have the best record in baseball and have assured themselves the best record in the National League. Martinez will give this a try, but it goes foul, and it's 0-2. Well, he gave it a try again. But I wonder, too, Sarge, whether this tells us that the Nationals are getting closer to competing. I don't know if they are. I'm sure there's still some pieces that they have to fill in, but maybe they're getting a little closer than they were, let's say, a year ago.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're getting closer. They got better pitching. Right now, the hitting is starting to come around. Remember now, they still have some younger players that are there. They've had some guys that have been hurt. Zimmerman, for one.
Strasburg, who's back.
He's going to be one of the better pitchers in the league. There's going to be no doubt about that. And they're going to be able to compete a little bit more. You'll see how that goes next year for them. They have Strasburg for the whole year with about 30 or so starts. That's going to help them tremendously.
Well, he's pitched well since coming back from Tommy John surgery. And the other night he hit 99 consistently with his fastball.
Well, they've been bringing him back very slowly.
Inside and low, 3-2. So Kendrick thought he had Nick struck out on the 1-2 pitch that was called a ball. Now it's 3-2.
Now, Strasburg, he's the type of pitcher they expect that when he pitches in the Nationals ballpark to just about have sellout crowds.
Fly ball, shallow right. Pete Orr going back. Hunter Pence coming in, and Pence makes a diving attempt. Did he get it? Yes, he did. He wasn't sure if it was going to be Orr's can of corn or if he had to hustle in and make that kind of a play, and he made it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, Pete Orr's job is to keep going out until you hear, I got it at the last minute. Hunter sees that he isn't going to get it, so he starts to dive right there. He locates the ball. Now he gets down, catches it right in the web. Oh, boy. That's what you call concentration. Good play.
So 2 outs. Here's Espinosa. He lined to right his first time up. And he takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Jason Worth, who manned right field for the Phillies the last couple of years, getting the first of this day-night doubleheader off.
Yeah, National Club, they had a lot of motivation. I mean, they've won more games than they did last year. Tied for third right now. It would be a feather in their cap if they could take third place, tied with the Mets. Yeah, anytime you can improve from the year before, it's just a little easier direction that you'll have trying to get to the top.
Well, Davey Johnson, as we said, is 32-41 since he took over for Jim Riggleman. What they did last year is kind of a testament to Riggleman. That ball is smoked over the head of Hunter Pence off the base of the scoreboard, and then it eludes him. And Espinosa will get to second with a 2-out double. First extra base hit of the day for either team.
Played that ball pretty good, just didn't get the carom. Knew it was going over his head, so he tried to position himself. Well, depending on where that ball hits on the wall, it's how far it's going to come back. Sometimes it'll hit the screen and die down, and that one hit the bottom. And once it hits the bottom, a little bit harder, it's going to shoot back, and that's exactly what it did.
It's now Jesus Flores with a runner at scoring position. Flores fly to Victorino his first time up. Kendrick's calling everybody off. He says, no problem here, boys. I'll make the catch. He does. That was a little easier than the one that Hunter Pence made earlier in the inning. Little stutter step and then the dive. And he finished off the out to help us finish. Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play big money, the new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. Last to the fourth, the sold-out crowd. Number 201 in a row. And they're watching Tommy Malone against Kyle Kendrick. He arrived in the big league Sarge. His name was Tom Malone. And as the starts have progressed, he has settled back into the casual name of Tommy Malone.
Well, most important thing, see if Tommy can throw strikes and get batters out. That's what the Nationals are all worried about.
Hunter Pence singled his first time up. Wheels mentioned before that Tommy Malone is the 100th major leaguer out of USC, the University of Southern California.
Familiar with that school?
Who's the best, Tom Seaver or Randy Johnson?
Tom Seaver.
Up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's who I want pitching my big game.
Broke his bat. The bat goes into the crowd. The ball is to the left of the mound. Wow. And there's one away, and hopefully everybody's okay because that bat went flying.
There's been some guys that have gotten literally just sawed off. Another bat, it flies into the stands. I think that was a fastball that was in on the hands. You know Hunter likes those. See exactly where that ball in on his hands, and he tries to get that ball out of his kitchen right there. Wasn't the bee. Bat going really further than that ball. Wow. Everybody's okay.
Looks like they are, and I think Hunter Pence was a little concerned as he hit that ball to the left of the mound. He kind of peeked back to make sure everybody was okay. Ben Francisco's the hitter. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Take a look at him as he's looking to see exactly where that bat is going.
Francisco taking 3-0. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Lined out to third his first time up. And he lines one on 1 hop right at Espinosa. 6 in a row retired by Tommy Milone. Check out the Phillies Authentic store at Citizens Bank Park. The store features authenticated game-used items and is now featuring a unique limited edition plaque commemorating Cliff Lee's first big league home run. For a list of available items and more info, email merch@phillies.com. There's the plaque. There's the dirt from Cliff's first home run. First of 2 this year. Eric Kratz takes a strike. He is a strong man.
Yeah, really hard to tell how they're going to do in a game until you see them not just one game, but a few games. Unfair to really try and judge players when they come up from AAA with just playing in 4 or 5 ball games.
Outside at high, 1-2. Mick Billmeyer has talked all year about Eric Kratz from afar, saying that in spring training he loved the way he set up behind the plate. I mean, he's a big guy. And Mick said that he likes the way he calls the game and the way he sets himself up for the pitcher. Plus, it doesn't hurt that he has a little pop, too.
Well, pitchers love to throw the guys that give good targets. Not only that, think along with them. And what makes it so difficult, you have 5 guys that have different variety of pitches that you have to think with. A lot of times other players can think about the hitting, and once they're through hitting, they got to think exactly on how to get different hitters out and making sure that you're calling the best pitches that pitcher's throwing that day.
Fly ball, shallow right, long run for Bernardina, and he sidewinds under it. Phillies are retired in order here in the 4th, 7 in a row retired by Tommy Milone. Mick Billmeyer will check off another inning. So will we as we go to the 5th. Coming up after the game on Phillies Clubhouse, Jimmy Rollins talks about his long tenure with the Phils. All this and more on Phillies Clubhouse, presented by Ransom Cat. That's today at 4:30 after postgame live right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Busy day here in the ballpark. Game 1 of a day-night doubleheader. A ball has gotten loose out in left center field, so Shane Victorino will retrieve it. As Steve Lombardozzi will lead it off for the Nationals. He had the first hit of the day for Washington in the third. Eight, 9, and 1 due up for Washington here in the fifth. Going to the count.
Now these are these games you really want to concentrate, especially in the field. Don't want any type of a miscue to cause base runners or a run.
Valdez charges, takes it on a good hop, and Lombardozzi runs well, but he throws him out, one away. Sarge, as a player, are these games difficult? I mean, you had years when you were out of it at this point. Phillies are by no means out of it. They've already clinched home field advantage, but they still have games to play.
Yeah. You got to figure out what you're playing for too. And right now, I think for me, guys will be playing for the best record, trying to get that done if they possibly can, and still stay within yourself, driving that ball.
Best record in franchise history.
Yes, yeah. Is what I'm talking about for the Phillies.
Yeah, that's certainly within reach. It's 101. They did it twice, so 98 wins. You know, guys like Jimmy Rollins will probably see in game 2.
You know, and not only that, you don't want to let that pitcher down. You want to play as hard as you can for him because he's given that same type of effort. Good pitch.
Yeah, I guess it's easy for us to say that there's always something to play for, but there does seem like there is something that each individual can play for that can lead to a good quality team effort.
Well, no doubt. I mean, Victorino trying to hit 300, outside chance for Hunter Pence to maybe get 100 RBIs. That's reachable.
I kind of forgot about that part, that there are individual goals that you want to attain. 1-2 pitch.
Like that spot, though. You like when you miss. If you just barely miss, that's where you're setting up that pitch for maybe another pitch he might want to try and go away with. Right, the little comebacker, just not enough on the inside.
To left field, that's pretty well hit. Francisco, though, gets back there. He was shading him in and over a little bit. 2 outs here in the fifth.
Well, you can see the difference, though, when you get that ball a little bit out over the plate. Just about any hitter can really put good wood on the ball, as opposed to the ball being inside where you're just missing on the inside part of the plate.
Ian Desmond was hit by a pitch his last time up, struck out his first time up. And a foul ball, according to Mark Carlson. Can't say that I've ever seen 2 different batting gloves. That's what Desmond's wearing right now. crack toward the hole. Backhanded by Valdez. Sets himself quickly and gets the throw over in time to get Desmond. That's a fine play, one that certainly Kyle Kendrick can appreciate. And Valdez showing that hamstring is fully healed because he had to get there and then stop quickly and then fire a strike. Hustle, hydrate, and believe. Last of the fourth. Phillies still looking for their first run. In fact, it's a scoreless game. Last of the fifth, I should say. It's Pete Orr, Michael Martinez, Kyle Kendrick. The bottom third. And a pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Orr grounded out to first his first time up. Sarge, do you have any feel on what's going to happen in the National League wild card and the American League wild card?
Boy, it's just could go down almost to that last particular day. You know, and a lot has to do with the teams that the wild card leaders are playing are right there up at the top. You know, you like playing those teams that have nothing to play for, but a lot of times you're going to get their best pitcher because they're trying to knock you out.
Or lifts it into foul territory. That'll slice back into the seats.
Well, if I was to pick a team, I would think that, I don't know, even though Milwaukee's winning, that Arizona might have a better record than Milwaukee.
Oh, you think they'll overtake them?
I'm thinking so. It's only one game right now.
Right. Now, what about Atlanta, St. Louis, and San Francisco? Can Atlanta hang on?
I think Atlanta will hang on for me. I just think that the pitching is going to come around. Even though they've been giving up some runs late, that they have enough hitting to, I think, overcome that.
Atlanta has the series obviously going on against the Marlins. They also have the last 3 games of the year against the Phillies. And that'll be in Atlanta. The Nationals go to Atlanta, or at least host Atlanta, I should say, after the series against the Phils. Pete Orr is aboard the hit by pitch. Now, in the AL wild card, we're kind of distant from it, but from afar, it's getting really interesting.
Oh, boy. You know, you start hearing footsteps, and again, you have more pressure. And those teams that are trying to catch the Boston Red Sox, I mean, they almost got to win every single day. But those are sleepless nights that you have for the Red Sox, wondering what you can do. Every play is magnified.
Plus, let's face it, Boston, like New York and Philadelphia, there's a lot of attention
Oh,
that's on that club.
They expect for them to be able to, if not win the division, at least have the wild card.
Well, they're 5-14 in the last 19 games. Martinez sends it in the air to right center field, playable for Ankiel.
Right, Martinez hits a lot of balls in the air. More ground balls, more line drives. That's the type of hitter that he is.
Well, here's Kyle Kendrick. One of the big things that the Red Sox have going for them right now is that Tampa Bay is playing the Yankees. And although the Yankees have pretty much assured themselves the top spot in the American League East with 92 wins and on their way to home field advantage in the American League, they want to put the division away. They want to close it out.
Yep.
And close out home field advantage too.
And let's face it, though, Tampa Bay, again, not intimidated. And they'll go in and play hard. They've been playing hard against not only the Yankees, but Boston Red Sox, and find themselves right back in it.
Nice sacrifice bunt by Kyle Kendrick. Up to second goes Orr. Well, later on the American League scoreboard, Wade Davis and the Tampa Bay Rays will take on Ivan Nova. And the Yankees, or Ivan Nova, I should say, 15-4 this year is Nova.
Wow.
And the Red Sox will host the Orioles. Eric Bedard will pitch for the Red Sox. Rick Vandenherk, the former Marlin, will pitch for the Orioles. Victorino gets a chance to bat with a runner in scoring position. Phillies have had just one base runner before this inning in scoring position today.
Bedard needs to get a good secondary so that there's no question he can score on a base hit. Got a pretty good lead out at second base. That's what happens. Well, you don't have runners in scoring position a lot throughout the game. When you do see it, you seem to have a little bit more pressure on you to try and get a good pitch. Still want to be aggressive, but stay within yourself.
Ooh. That thing floated right into the strike zone. A curveball, and it's 1-2. I think Shane thought it floated inside. Phillies have not done as much damage lately with 2 outs, but consistently the best in Major League Baseball in that category. Fly ball, shallow left field. Desmond, the shortstop, is there. And Maloney leaves one in scoring position here in the bottom of the 5th. So still nothing solved here at Citizens Bank Park. We go to the 6th. It's the Nationals nothing and the Phillies nothing. each and every member of the 2011 National League East champions. They've been dominant on the mound and have been slamming at the plate when necessary. For a club record 5th straight season, the Phillies remain the team to beat in the East, and they did it in 150 games this year, faster than any team in franchise history. Cork popping never gets old, and it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, some changes for the Phillies. John Bowker comes on to play first base for the Phils. And going from first base out to center field is John Mayberry. Charlie Manuel did tell us before the ball game that he'd let the regulars who are in the lineup play most of the game, get a couple of at-bats, and then maybe make some changes. And that's exactly what he's doing here. Roger Bernardino leads off the top of the 6th. Scoreless game. Bernardino's 1 for 2. He singled his last time up, struck out in the first. I guess you figure that Hunter Pence, after his next at-bat, will be lifted from the ball game. Ground ball to second base. Boy, Kendrick's done a really nice job today. He's been in trouble twice. That's it. But he's been getting a wide assortment of ground balls and fly ball outs. He's a sinker ball pitcher.
Yeah.
But he doesn't always have to rely on the ground ball outs.
Well, he's at his best, though, when he's getting the ground ball out. That means that most of the time hitters are swinging early in the count. But more importantly, you're able to keep that pitch count down by not going 3-2, 2-2 to a lot of the hitters.
Rick Ankiel's grounded out. He's also fly to center, 0 for 2. Well, here come the pitches by inning for Kendrick. The 3rd and the 4th are when he has had some trouble, and that's where his pitch count is a little higher than the others. Line drive, left center field. That'll be in for a hit. So Ankiel has his first hit. And it's the 4th for the Nationals. Perfect day to step away from school. Enjoy maybe one last hurrah here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
A little cotton candy. Never too old for cotton candy, Sarge.
Oh, and he's might have to buy another one if he ends up having that on the ground. Good pitch, fastball on the inside.
And Ankiel slipped and got caught off first. Nice play by Orr, and a nice play by Ankiel. Bowker's saying that he tagged Ankiel on the foot. No, the Phillies did not execute that rundown perfectly.
All right, see exactly what happened and what he could have done. Well, once he falls down and slips, he gets it at him. You got to go on and run him back. He's got to give him back that ball, and I don't know, didn't appear to have tagged him from there.
Well, Ankiel does get back. I wonder if Bowker would have let that ball go and let Kendrick catch it if they might have had a better shot at it.
Well, Bowker, too, a little bit too close, and you're right, would have had a better shot. Kendrick there on the bag.
No balls, 1 strike to count to Chris Marrero. 0-2. Well, good job by Kendrick. He gets his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Just a good fastball. Looked like it tailed in right on the hand. See how the ball comes right back in there, and that's off the plate. That's a good pitch. Appeared to be coming like it was almost down the middle with good movement, moving inside. That's the pitch he hasn't been getting, and if that's the pitch he is getting, this makes it easier for him. Don't want that same pitch, however, to catch a lot of the plate. Not on guys that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, and Lance Nix is one of those guys.
Last outing, Kenrick allowed just 1 run, and it was a home run in 5 innings of work. Here he's 1 out away from getting through the 6th. That was that first of the day-night doubleheader against the Marlins last Thursday.
Well, he's done a great job up to this point.
Michael Schwimmer's up and throwing in the pen. Ground ball towards second. He's going to get out of it. Nope, he's not. It ran right up the arm of Pete Orr. And Ankiel goes to third. That'll be an error charge to Orr. That's a shame because that was a really good pitch by Kenrick.
Well, it's just a great pitch. We talked about it last night. Can't do anything at all until you're able to catch the ball. Could have been able to tag that bag at second, or he could have thrown the ball to first. Top spin on that ball there. He's coming in trying to pick out his hop. That's not a hard or difficult play for a second baseman there. He had his eyes down right on it. He just booted the ball.
Pete Orr can't believe it. He had 2 options. He could have gotten to second. He could have gotten to first.
Did have his head down on it. Just one of those things.
Danny Espinosa doubled his last time up. It's the only extra base hit of the game. He's batting with runners on first and third.
Yeah, and he smoked that double too. Want to try and get ahead and maybe get him to swing at a pitch that's out of the zone.
There you have it. He's ahead. It's 0-1.
44,263. 4-4-2-6-3. 201st. Second regular season center.
That'll slice out of play. Francisco does give it a peek, but it's back into the seats. 0-2 the count.
2 good pitches. Out of the zone. Doesn't have to throw him a strike right now. See if you can get him to maybe fish for something in the dirt, or maybe get something up out of the zone. Also seen him throw that ball that starts on the inside and of the left-handed hitter, moves right over there for a strike.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On the outside corner. That's a nasty pitch by Kyle Kendrick to retire Espinosa. He leaves a couple, no problem with the error for Pete Orr to extend the life of this inning. Danny Espinosa didn't think that was a strike. Take a look at it. Perfect frame job by Eric Kratz. We've completed 5.5 out to the bottom of the We don't just make SUVs, we make history. By WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW. Last of the sixth. No score between the Phillies and the Nationals. That's Rick Ankiel running in that shot. He was a little delayed getting back out to his position. Wilson Valdez will lead it off. Valdez is 0 for 2. Struck out his first time up, grounded out to second. There's Kyle Kendrick. We'll see if he's done after 6 innings. He's pitched very well today. He's scattered 4 hits. As we said, his last outing, he went 5 innings. Rich Doobie in between innings, chatting with Kyle Kendrick. Eric Kratz is there too. Forget about the fist shake or the handshake. Give me a hug, big boy. It was like a movie. Kyle put his hand down like he wanted to get a little fist pump or a handshake, and Kratz said, no. This is more than that.
Oh, they were really in unison, obviously. They're getting those ground balls, getting strikeouts. Just need to try and get him a run. Reward him for the effort that he's given here today.
Well, Schwimmer's up and throwing again, so I guess Kendrick is done, we could assume, after 6. 1-2 to Valdez. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, they played Valdez to hit the ball the other way. If he can get a ball line drive, almost center field a little bit there, that'd be a long way for him to run.
Back toward the middle, off the glove of Malone. That's going to be a base hit. Espinosa didn't come after it right away. I think he thought that was a gimme, but if he had come after it right away, he might have had a play.
Might have had a shot of it, thinking that ball maybe headed up the middle. As an afterthought, going to get that ball, going off of Malone. He says, hey, I'm okay. Take another look at it. That's just a bullet hit right up the middle there. Did go off his glove, however. Espinosa coming in. He's thinking maybe that ball's right up the middle, though he did have to change direction. That'd have been a difficult play to come in and get Valdez, even though he's not a fast runner.
Well, Steve McCatty, the pitching coach, the Nationals athletic trainer, came out just to check on him. So the Phillies have the leadoff batter aboard here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's John Mayberry. Singled his first time up. Phillies have not had a lot of base runners today. It's only the 3rd hit, so they haven't really tested Maloney, whose times to the plate are very slow.
Yeah, well, obviously hard to run if you're not able to get on base.
Well, it does look like he froze there for a second. Outside, 1-0.
Well, if you can read a left-handed pitcher, they're the easiest pitcher to run on, simply because you're looking right at him. You see exactly where he's going. You talk to most base stealers, they would tell you that the left-hander's easier to steal on. You got to be able to read them and know exactly what you're looking for in order to get the jump.
In the air to left field. And Lance Nix comes over to put it away. Valdez tags just to draw the throw. Well, and I'll bring Hunter Pence to the plate. Might be his final at bat of the day.
All right, Mayberry had a pretty good pitch to hit, just hitting it off the end. A lot of times, too, those situations, you try and do a little bit too much instead of really just driving the ball. That situation for me, I mean, I'm not trying to hit it out. If it goes out, it goes out. Trying to stay up that middle, try and get runners on first and third, then with nobody out.
Pence lines it to center field, a base hit. Valdez should be able to get to third. There he goes. He's on his way to third. Ankiel's throw goes to second. First to third with one out for the Phils.
Well, I got to tell you, though, Tom, Hunter Pence really limping going around third base. Very noticeable that he was limping after he made his turn, trying to get back. Boy, you're talking about a real ball player right there, ladies and gentlemen. Hard to get him out of the game. The right thing to do. Line drive that he's getting ready to hit. He gets jammed on that ball a little bit. Everybody's clappy. They're happy for Hunter Pence, also for the fighting Phils. Valdez goes all the way to third base as he reads that ball. Nice going.
Well, we showed that lady earlier putting the Hunter Pence "Good Game, Let's Go Eat" shirt on. That you can get here at the Majestic Clubhouse store. And she is no doubt a fan. As you saw from her reaction, Hunter Pence's hit. So first and third, one out. Ben Francisco's the hitter. The Nationals will play the infield for two. First base runner for the Phillies over the third today.
Looking for a ball, preferably middle in. You want your pitch up to 2 strikes. After that, then you got to protect. Good situation here to get a ball in that outfield someplace. Yeah, well, that's his move. I can see why you would run on him.
Easy to pick up.
Oh, boy. And he almost had to turn the whole way to go there. Leg was very low. Not a situation, however, for me that you want to try and send the runner, Francisco, to be able to have this at bat, see if he can drive this run in.
One ball, one strike to count. Guerrero will give that a look, and he makes a nice catch over his shoulder. Draws the throw. Valdez draws the throw.
Good
Two
job.
outs.
Good job, though, by Valdez to make him throw that ball. Never can tell. Not so good of a job by Francisco on that particular pitch. Again, not trying to hit the ball out. Just trying to really just drive that ball and stay through it. Those are big situations in a ball game.
So now it's left up to Eric Kratz with runners on first and third. Midfield goes back a couple more steps.
I tell you, though, Malone has done a pretty good job himself here today, keeping those hitters off balance. He's had a decent fastball outside part of the plate, 88, 89.
Doesn't throw many of those. That was a tightly spun curveball, and it's 1-2.
Here it is again, a little bit anxious. You can understand that, trying to get yourself a hit. A little bit nervous.
Got him. So the Phillies' first real threat of the day, first and third with one out, ends with both base runners still on base as we go to the seventh.
Time now for the Verizon Wireless game summary. This is about as close as you can get. How about these totals? Yeah, they're pretty even. Good pitching here this afternoon by both these guys. Kyle Kendrick will now leave the game after 6 strong innings as Michael Schwimmer will replace him. Phillies, everybody knows, not scoring a whole lot of runs lately. Tommy Malone, good-looking young pitcher for the Washington Nationals, Tommy, here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of keeping the Phillies hitters off balance, and now Brandon Moss will settle in right field. He came on to pinch run for Hunter Pence in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Michael Schwimmer will come in to take over for Kyle Kendrick. Schwimmer at his 9th ball game, 1-1, a 4.82 earned run average. Made his major league debut against the Washington Nationals. He gave up a long home run in that ball game. I still remember to this day where he thought it was a fly ball to center. There's Maloney, congratulated by Steve McCatty, the pitching coach for Washington. So his day may be done. Jesus Flores leads it off and takes upstairs. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
He did a nice job. Change speeds. Talked about it earlier. The thing you noticed right away was he pitched inside enough to be effective. Jammed some guys. Got a lot of hitters away with change-ups.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Flores.
Who was that, Espinosa, that hit the home run off Schwimmer?
It was Espinosa, yep. Straightaway center field. So he's trying to break himself of that habit where he points up every time there's a fly ball, because he's been burned a couple times where those fly balls have gone out of the yard.
Yeah, it's not a good idea unless you know it. Brandon Duckworth used to do that a lot when he was here. He'd point up and, uh-oh, things out.
1-2 the count to Flores to start the 7th. Kratz, pretty good target back there. You notice about Kratz is that he doesn't move a whole lot. He sets up. He's so big that there's very little movement in his body or the glove when the ball comes in. I think that helped Kendrick, particularly when he got Danny Espinosa on strikes to end the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Michael Schwimmer. Well, these lucky fans are this afternoon's Citizens 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Lombardozzi's the hitter. Alex Cora is out on deck to pinch hit for the pitcher Tommy Malone. And a line drive base hit to right field for Lombardozzi, his 2nd hit of the day. So here's Alex Cora, the veteran.
Number 13, Alex Cora.
Got to keep an eye on Lombardozzi. He stole 30 bases this year down in the minor leagues. Just watching him run on his 2 hits. He does have some wheels. Outside 2-0.
Talking about Malone at the start of the game, he said he doesn't walk many. That's been his background. He didn't walk anybody here today. He throws strikes, and another thing you noticed about him was he was very effective staying out of the middle of the plate, and that's a good way not to get hurt.
Kind of say the same thing about Kendrick today. No walks, 4 hits allowed, 4 strikeouts in 6 innings.
Kyle was really good. He didn't walk anybody when he hit one batter, but he had good stuff today. Both these starts that he's made in the last week, he's attacked the strike zone, and he worked quickly and did a good job.
2-1 the count to Cora. There's Jason Worth, and might see him as a pinch hitter at some point today. Batting gloves on.
He'll play the 2nd game too against Lee, you would think, huh?
By the way, Carl Graber just gave us a note about Kendrick's ERA. I was watching this as the game was moving on. It's dropped to 3.04 with his outing today.
He's done everything they've asked of him in a difficult role too. You know, back and forth, long periods of inactivity, never complains, and that, you know, Charlie appreciates what he's been able to do for him this year and to keep his attitude the way that he has. These guys are a little more used to working together.
Yeah, probably. Considering Kratz and Schwimmer were both down in the minor leagues together. There goes the runner. Pitch is line fouled on the right field line. And it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Here's a look at some of the work of Kyle Kendrick here this afternoon. Came right out and got strikeouts on the first 2 batters there. A check swing on Desmond got him. And then nice play by Kratzer on that foul tip. Jammed and Keel with some men on base. This is a really nice play by Wilson Valdez with that don't teach it strong arm it is. Another strikeout there by Kyle. Uses changeup effectively, his cutter, and congrats there from his catcher, Eric Kratz. Looked that first inning like they were a little bit out of sync, and after that they were fine.
There goes the runner again. The 2-2 line to right field, a base hit. Lombardozzi heads over to third. He'll get there easily. And the Nationals have first and third with 1 man down, thanks to the pinch single by Cora.
Got a breaking ball there too. Hit it right through the hole with a runner going.
Doug Slayton's up and throwing in the pen. Well, the Phillies hit first and third with 1 out in their half of the 6th. Now the Nationals have first and third with 1 out here in the 7th. Ian Desmond's the hitter. Desmond's 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch second time up, and he bunts. It's a fair ball. Here comes the squeeze. Kratz going back. Did he get there? Out at the plate.
What
that was odd because it wasn't a straight squeeze. Lombardozzi hesitated and then came to the plate. Davey Johnson is thinking Lombardozzi got his foot in ahead of the tag by Kratz.
Yeah, it looked like Kratz slipped a little bit before he could get back to the plate, and it was going to cost him. But yeah, that was not a suicide squeeze, because he waited to see it, and the ball bunted where it was. I guess he figured home plate's uncovered, did Lombardozzi. Now here he comes down the line. Umpires block the play right there. You really can't tell, except he calls him out.
Well, looks like he was safe. Yeah,
I think he got there in time, because it looked like he slipped just a little bit right there, lost his footing, and
he had to put the ball in his glove.
Yeah, now he's got to scramble back.
Look how he closed the glove too with his throwing hand to try to secure it and make sure that it didn't pop out. Oh, a break for the Phillies. Yeah. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
Just an old 2 unassisted, huh? They've used that play earlier this year with Livan Hernandez twice. And you know what it is the guy on third has to read where the ball is. Some people call that a safety squeeze, whatever. I don't know what the term for it is, but it's the key there is the runner reading the ball and whether or not he can score from third or not. And in that case, Lombardozzi came down the line and then read that he thought it was far enough from home plate that he could score with home plate unattended, and he's right, he did score.
It was a good job by Kratz, though, even though the replays showed that Lombardozzi got his foot in. Kratz to get to the ball, and as you said, he slipped, but then get the ball to the glove and then get the glove down and protect it.
And you know, he was the only one that had a chance, because Schwimmer can't get there in time to cover the plate, I don't think.
2-0 the count to Bernardina. In the air to right field. That is a towering shot, and this is going to give the Nationals the lead. Into the second deck, 3-0 Washington. Seventh home run of the year for Bernardina, and that was a monster shot.
Yeah, anytime you go upstairs like that. So the chance to work out of it, not able to do it there with 2 outs. Getting the break at the plate. That pitch is just down and in a little bit. Left-handed hitters just love the ball in that spot. He just dropped the head on it and hit it a long way.
Here's Rick Ankiel, and he takes outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Ankiel's 1 for 3.
Looked like it was a fastball in just a bad spot.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. with some high cheese, and Ankiel's rung up. Second strikeout of the inning for Schwimmer, but he allows a 3-run home run. Time to stretch with the Phillies down 3-0. His answer. Wheels, name the Phillies player that hit 3 home runs in a doubleheader at Washington on May 16th, 2009.
The night the banner fell down on Sarge.
The night the banner fell.
I want to say Raul Ibanez.
Raul Ibanez is correct.
And they were long ones.
Yeah, the 2009 season, Raul had some really good numbers against the Washington Nationals. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of Phillies prize pack. And thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Well, Doug Slayton's on here in the bottom of the 7th. Phillies trail at 3-0 all of a sudden, thanks to a 3-run home run by Roger Bernardina. Slayton's 0-1, a 3.00 earned run average. People are wondering about the banner. This is what we're talking about. The banner fell on Sarge that night. I mean, there was a storm brewing in Washington, D.C., and Sarge was engulfed in that banner. I mean, everything was falling at that point.
It got a little windy up there.
Sure did. Pete Orr leads it off, takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Larry going down the slide, the banner falling on Sarge. Good stuff.
Not on the same night.
No.
Frank Koppenbarger goosing you with a champagne bottle.
I really didn't think that fit in what I was just discussing.
Why? Because you were discussing somebody else?
Yes.
Ground ball back towards second. Espinosa charges, and Orr beats it.
Figure once that ball got past the pitcher, Orr had a heck of a chance to beat it, but that was a good play by Espinosa to make it that close. Breaks his bat, gets by Slayton. Remember, we talked earlier about how athletic Espinosa is as a shortstop. And he showed some of that athleticism there, getting on that quickly, and then a really strong throw.
Here's Michael Martinez with a runner at first. Nationals have Tyler Clippard warming up. The Phillies have Carlos Ruiz in the on-deck circle. Pitcher spot is due up next. Joe Savory starting to throw in the pen for the Phillies.
Some major league debuts going on around here. I think we may have another one. The Freitas the other night. Of course, Schwimmer earlier this year. Sun's starting to come out. These guys are using some of their main pitchers right now. Clippard would be one of them.
Ground ball, base hit it to left field. So the tying run is coming to the plate for the Phillies here in the 7th. Back-to-back singles.
Well, they had the third baseman there, Lombardozzi, up as if they thought he was going to bunt. Or maybe bunt for a base hit, take that away from him. And as a result, he got jammed and just had kind of a little weak ground ball past him into the outfield. See if Davy Johnson wants his catcher to go out and talk to the pitcher, Slate, so that, well, they're going to, Phillies already, they have Ruiz up there as a pinch hitter, as Tom mentioned, and they may want to go right on him with Clippard.
And you have Bowker in the on-deck circle, left-handed hitter. He came on to play first, and Mayberry went to center, so Bowker's in Victorino's spot.
But usually that sign that Davy Johnson gave is just a stall that he's going to make a change when, and here he comes.
So here comes Davy Johnson. So Carlos Ruiz will not face the lefty Slayton. He'll face the right-hander Tyler Clippard, who's been warming up in the pen. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 men on for the Phillies. And we've got a pitching change. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen from Citizens Bank Park. The tying run is due up for the Phils. Host your next corporate or social event at Citizens Bank Park. The ballpark offers a variety of unique spaces and on-site catering available year-round for many types of functions, both large and small. Take advantage of all the ballpark has to offer by calling 215-218-5100 or visit Phillies.com/special events. 3-0 Nationals, bottom of the 7th. Phillies have 2 on, nobody out. Carlos Ruiz was introduced as a pinch hitter, so Davy Johnson went to Tyler Clippard, his 68th ball game. 3-0, 1.84 earned run average. Charlie Manuel is going to counter with Raul Ibanez to pinch hit. With 3 catchers on the roster, he can afford to do that, because now that Ruiz is out of the game, he still has Schneider as a backup in case. So he can put Ibanez up here to pinch hit.
Yeah, who's had a lot of success against Washington, as per our trivia question and answer we just had, and against Tyler Clippard, pretty good too.
15 home runs, 46 runs batted in against the Nationals. That's some incredible numbers. He has 2 on and nobody out here in the 7th. Phillies down 3-0. And it's 0-1.
Clippard has a really good changeup and above average fastball, and you know Raul's going to go up there and swing fastball, and he got the changeup. As a result, get a bad swing. I think anybody goes up and sits on a first pitch changeup when you're a pinch hitter.
Another one. That one looked like it faded outside, but Mark Carlson thought it was a strike, and it's 0-2. Clippard's been very good for the Nationals ever since he came over from the Yankees. And you see what he's done this year, well above the National League average for inherited runners stranded.
And he can throw a ball by you too after the changeups.
In the air to right field. Raul Ibanez has just tied this ball game up. A 3-run pinch hit home run. How about that? Off the bench, down, no balls and 2 strikes. And he drills one into the seats in right field. It's a 3-3 game.
Yeah, he threw a ball by you after a couple of changeups, but he didn't throw it by him, did he? Oh, boy, did he turn on that fastball. He sees those uniforms out there, and he likes to trot around the bases.
Second career pinch hit home run for Ibanez, his first since 2001.
Boy, that was quick on a fastball right there. After looking bad on 2 changeups, well, looking bad on 1 and then taking the other. Bam! On a fastball, as Sarge would say.
Well, Quincy Richardson of Philadelphia, you've just won $200 compliments of the McDonald's home run jackpot. All leave it at 3.
Well, that made a good sound.
Sure
when your
did.
guy does it. That was loud.
Here's John Bowker. It's 1-0 to Bowker. 2-0.
Really something though, how with pitchers, and it's a guessing game out there. You throw 2 soft pitches like that, and you got a guy buried, and you say, I'm going to throw this fastball, and he's going to be late on it. Not that time. Going back to the soft stuff again.
Well, Davey Johnson and Charlie Manuel have known each other for a long time. And although they probably haven't managed a lot of games against each other, they know what it feels like when one guy tries to make a move to counter the other guy's move. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Ground ball right side. Espinosa to his left.
And it's a lot easier to do that stuff this time of the year when you have all those bodies in there. Because as you pointed out, he would never put Ruiz up in that spot and pull him back like that during the season because you only have 2 catchers. But now you have 3 at this time of the year.
Valdez is 1 for 3. It went off the glove of Tommy Malone his last time up.
We're still going to bring Savory into this game too. So this is that time of the year you're just trying to work some things in.
I have to admit, I am intrigued to see what he has to offer.
Yeah, I think they are too.
Two and 0 the count.
Well, we'll have Nix, the second hitter, who's left-handed, if they stay this way. And Espinosa, they'll turn him around where he has less power, right-handed. He's had 5 home runs right-handed, 14 left-handed. But it's kind of tough to, this is like doing a spring training game. There's not a whole lot of strategy involved.
Well, we just saw some strategy right there.
Yeah, but I mean, with pitchers, if you're going to bring a rookie in to make his major league debut in the 8th inning of a tie game, there's no strategy.
3-0 the count. And ball 4. Valdez walks on 4 pitches.
Just saying, I want to see him pitch like you did.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. It cuts down on the amount of strategy.
Well, if Ibanez's day is done, first part of the day, pretty good day.
Carlos did a great job, too.
He sure did.
Didn't he do a good job as a decoy?
Yep.
And Raul, that was a loud homer.
Raul Ibanez talking with Ryan Sandberg. Todd Coffey's in the bullpen warming up.
Yeah, they're using some of their regular guys right now in Clippard and Coffey.
through the hole on the left side. First and second Phillies, one man down.
Clippers getting hurt on some fastballs.
Davey Johnson taking a look at the lineup card. Brandon Moss is due up next, so he's got the righty Coffey. He doesn't have a lefty in the pen warming up. He has Burnett and Gorzolani, left-handers that are available.
Willie Ibanez has hit the last 2 home runs for the Phillies, and he's totaled 7 ribbies with them. That's pretty productive.
Very productive. Steve McCaddy's coming out to talk to Clippard. This might be just a scouting report because there's no real thought to bring in somebody like a Todd Coffey to face Brandon Moss.
Right. I don't think so.
Oh, speaking of Davey Johnson and Charlie Manuel. Charlie Manuel began the year as the oldest manager of the National League East. Well, then some changes were made. Jack McKeon and Davey Johnson took over. McKeon and Johnson both have won world championships along with Charlie Manuel. Got some guys that have some experience in this division. No more than McKeon, Johnson, and Manuel, though. Here's Brandon Moss. And there's the changeup from Clippard. They throw behind Valdez, who gets back. Valdez was halfway between second and third on that pitch.
Yeah, that was just a long walking lead. And he almost got himself in trouble. Changeup's been good in this inning. He keeps getting hurt on fastballs.
Another changeup.
Yeah. It's all he threw him. He wasn't going to get hurt on 0-2 changeup to another left-handed hitter like he did with Ibanez.
They've added Ryan Matthews to the bullpen, warming up with Todd Coffey.
Here it is, 3 straight changeups and a strikeout.
In the dirt. Nice play by Flores. Keeps everybody at their base. 1 ball and 1 strike to Francisco.
His breaking ball's been a changeup. And he throws a lot more to right-handed batters than he does to left-handed hitters because he likes to throw fastball changeup to the lefties. No score in this game, and then 2 3-run homers in the 7th.
High changeup. And it's 1-2.
Seemed to have a hop on his fastball that we've seen other times with him. You know, he pitches a lot. He could be a little bit arm weary at this point in the year. This is a guy that has done a lot of work for them the last couple of years.
That was awfully close. The runners will be off on this pitch. Good take by Francisco.
It looked like he threw another changeup there, and that one, a little fader down and into him. It must have just missed.
This might be his last batter, even though it's a right-handed hitting Eric Kratz on deck.
Yeah.
3-2, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, 3-3 ball game. Ben Francisco at the plate. The runners will go. In the air to left field, not deep. Nick's got a late jump, but Desmond's out there, and Nick's calls him off. So the Phillies tie it up with a 3-run home run by Raul Ibanez. It was a pinch hit home run against Tyler Clippard. He did this to clinch the division for the Phillies, a grand slam against the Cardinals, and then a 3-run shot here this afternoon to tie up the Washington Nationals. We go to the 8th, all leave it at 3. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Mazda. Zoom Zoom. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Oh, still even. This time at 3 as we go to the top of the 8th. 3 runs on 7 hits. 1 error for the Nationals. 3-8-1 for the Phillies. And for the second time on this homestand, the Phillies have a guy making his major league debut, Joe Savory. Now, those numbers don't tell all the story for Savory. He began the year as a position player. Well, it goes back a little bit. He began his career as a pitcher, then turned back into a position player this year, then turned back into a pitcher. And he's had himself a heck of a run in AAA, and his velocity has been way up this year. Chris Marrero leaves it off, and he takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And now as a relief pitcher, he's a guy out of the stretch.
Former top pick for the Phillies, and they've been waiting for Joe Savory to get to the big leagues in some capacity or another. He's one of those guys that had a difficult time trying to figure out what he wanted to do because he was such a good hitter in college and a good pitcher. This year he had 292 and 240 at bats between Clearwater and Reading. They had him playing first base today, or excuse me, this year, and that looked like a pretty good pitch.
Four fastballs so far, all the same speed, 91. Three and one the count.
back toward the middle, or has it go off his glove. And that'll be a base hit for Chris Marrero. And let's see if the Nationals put a pinch hitter up. It looks like they're going to. Brian Bixler. And he may be up there to sacrifice.
Right. 8th inning, so on the road like that would, you would think, if they were going to go try and get a little bit more out of it, they might bring Morse off the bench. And you can get a lot more when you bring him off the bench.
Morse or Worth?
Or Worth, yeah. Morse has had a better year.
They also have Ryan Zimmerman on their bench.
It's not bad. Yeah, they got pretty good right-handed hitters on that bench in this game.
So Bixler, 207 hitter with 2 runs batted in. Michael Martinez is in on the grass at third.
But yeah, you would think if they use this guy, they're going to bunt.
He squares and he bunts back toward the mound. Savory has it. Sacrifice is successful. Here comes Charlie Manuel, and with Espinosa due up, I guess Charlie's going to put him up left-handed.
I think he's just going to go for more experience. It looks like, and he's got Lidge out there. He's got one of the guys that, trying to win the game.
So Brad Lidge is coming in. Joe Savory's major league debut is complete. The runner at second is his responsibility. And Lidge will try to work out of this 8th inning, give the Phils offense a chance at the bottom of the 8th. So 1 man down, top of the 8th. It's a 3-3 game. We have a pitching change. Second base for the Nationals. They just sacrificed Chris Marrero into scoring position. Danny Espinosa, switch hitter, will bat left-handed against Lidge. 0-1 with a 1.17 earned run average. He's taken on some additional responsibility as the 8th inning guy for the Phillies, particularly from the right side.
Well, that's why they're picking this spot to use him right now. Joe Savory made his major league debut, walked the first batter, or a base hit on the first batter that he faced, and then a sacrifice, a third of an inning for him. Had Trevor May up here last night, and he talked about how excited he was for DeFreitas. Well, I'm sure the same thing applied watching Savory go out there today. These guys all come up together and go through all that minor league stuff, and then when they get a chance to actually be in the major leagues, pretty neat.
Represent the organization in the community and on the field for the 2012 season. The Phillies are looking for experienced softball players with outgoing personalities to be Phillies ball girls. Submitted a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered, like Jess right there, to the Phillies, to Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention ball girl applicant. Danny Espinosa hitting from the left side with a runner at second. And he hits the first pitch foul. It's a slider. And it's 0-1. Nice catch by a young fan in the first row.
Great
the Hall of
catch.
Fame Club.
Yeah. There he is. This guy right here. Outstanding.
Nice job by you too, Wheels, drawing that Phillies P around that guy.
Well, I didn't mean to do it, Tom.
A lot of times the greatest artists don't mean to do what they've done.
You see those paintings where they just throw the paint on the thing and wow, that's really great. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but I've seen that happen.
1-1 the count to Espinosa.
That'd be the only way I could paint.
That guy might get another chance.
Nope.
No, it's in the same neighborhood.
First row again, but drop but control. That's the old pick it up when it stops rolling.
And then raise your hand up as if you know what you're doing.
Nice job.
Doesn't look like he wants to give it up.
He'll tell everybody, you should have seen the catch I made. No, that was a guy before you. Well, so what? Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Ground ball right side. And Bowker makes the play. Lidge is there to cover. 2 outs. Over to third goes Marrero.
That's the thing about Lidge and his slider. Obviously, that's his pitch now. And he's really been getting right-handed hitters out effectively. And, you know, if you're going to pitch the 8th inning, you got to get the lefties out, too.
Nationals have left 6 so far today. They have a runner over at third. And the Phillies are trying to keep that runner over at third for the 3rd time today.
Now you have Kratz back there behind home plate who hasn't caught Lidge. Maybe caught him in spring training, maybe. But the point I'm making is Ruiz is so good at blocking that slider in the dirt. And now you have a guy back there that's not used to Lidge's slider with a man on third base. And you really need to call his best pitch. So let's see what happens. Because the slider that Lidge wants to throw, especially if he can get ahead, is the non-strike. He wants to bounce it or throw it down in the dirt where the guy will chase. I'm going to go fastball away, it looked like.
Bowker's over toward the crowd and it's out of play. 1-2 the count.
And that's what they did. Go fastball away, and now here you go. Set up to throw that non-strike slider, see if he'll chase. Here it comes.
Got him. He had the confidence to call it. Lidge, of course, had the confidence to throw it. Gets the strikeout. And the Nationals leave a runner over at third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Phils 3, the Nationals 3. And Brad Lidge has a pretty good slider. with a 3-run home run tonight, or today I should say, and for the Nationals it came in the top of the 7th. For the Phillies it came in the bottom of the 7th. Brian Bixler stays in the ballgame, and he's in left field for Washington. Sean Burnett is the new pitcher. 67th game for Burnett, and he's on to face Eric Kratz, Pete Orr, Michael Martinez. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Phillies. Ryan Matson is warming in the pen. Matson may come in even if the game remains tied, just to get some work. You know, we talk about guys kind of shutting things down for the next couple of days and getting a breather. But
I think Charlie showed by using
the ball scalded to left, and Bixler's there.
I think Charlie showed by using Lidge in that inning that all of a sudden it got to be serious time in a tie game, that you're going to use the guys that you would use, and you use your closer in a tie game at home in the ninth.
As Charlie said, there's always something to play for. I think he wants 100 wins. I think he wants the franchise record in wins.
Yeah, he'd like all of those things. You're right, Tom, and he wants them to play well too the rest of the way. But they've gotten the first two things they wanted, and that's to win the division and to have the best record, and that's over. With what, 8 games ago? No, 4-4. No, 4-6. 10 games ago they did it.
10 games counting today's.
Right. After last night, they had 10 games, and Milwaukee lost, so it was over.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Pete Orr. He's been on base twice today.
Wow,
that was a heck of a grab.
Man, talk about a catch.
That's it. Stand up, take a bow, tip your cap, do everything you need to get attention to yourself. That he just saved a lot of people over there.
I pounded his heart back there. That was a bullet coming in the stands. What a play. We'll see that again at some point, huh?
2-2 the count.
We got to really circle him.
Put a star all over it. Yeah,
nice
there you go.
Job.
Caught it, Mom. He caught it.
You want to see him in his Babe Ruth games.
Oh. Well, no reaction from Orr or Sam Perlazo, so Espinosa made a fine play, and he must have gotten him.
Yeah, he looked like he was out. But when Orr hits a ball like that, you'd think he's got a heck of a chance to beat it the way he can run. Espinosa, he smothered that thing, and he has such a strong arm, and he really needed it here. Got him.
Good call.
Yep.
Michael Martinez is the batter. Jimmy Rollins is on deck with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Boy, I bet that phone lit up. He's probably getting a lot of text messages.
Well, he should. He should get text messages from everybody's friend around him.
They ought to be out buying him a soda. All those fans down there, a hot dog or whatever he wants. Cheesesteak, pizza.
0-2 the count to Martinez. Up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Down the right field line. Bernardina's playing over there, but it'll slice into the crowd. Big old Fanatic had to get out of the way. That would have been a heck of a catch with the Fanatic head and the glove on. Oh, he caught another one.
Obviously got good hands.
Yeah.
You got to figure that kid plays shortstop on whatever team he's on.
Go send that kid up to help that gentleman right there.
Lots of good plays going on around here this afternoon.
Bring it to the count to Martinez. Again, Rollins is on deck. It's a pinch hit for the pitcher spot. That would be Brad Lidge. Ryan Matson's warming up in the bullpen. And ball 4. So Martinez is aboard with 2 outs here in the 8th. Well, Wheels, at game 2, we're going to do our Ask the Booth segment. Hashtag Ask the Booth at Philly Phillies. But we have received one quick one here. Wondering from Rose 86, what do you guys do between games of the doubleheader? Well, Wheels is going to try to do a manager's show for radio.
If he'll do another one.
Right. And we'll be back preparing for today's ball game. Probably have a bite to eat.
Not real exciting.
Nope. Usually if it's a weekend day-night doubleheader, there are other games on that we'd watch. There are a couple that are scheduled, but, well, they're over with already. There's one other day game in the day-night doubleheader sequence, the White Sox and the Indians.
Time actually goes pretty fast.
The other day against the Marlins, it went quick because there was not a lot of time in between games.
Right, 2:30 start in the first game. But this game has extra inning potential. So, yeah, go down and find Charlie at some point and do another radio show.
That is not what's in the broadcaster's room.
Unless that's over in Sarge's area.
Which there's a good chance that that is happening.
That was a shot the other night in the clubhouse.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Rollins. With 2 outs here in the 8th. Phillies and the Nationals tied at 3. Lifted in the air to shallow right field. Roger Bernardina comes in. And we're going to the 9th inning, all tied up at 3. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. Celebration, well, maybe some of the future for the Phils. The 9th, all tied up at 3 apiece. Game 2 will feature Cliff Lee starting for the Phillies. And the folks here that are watching game 1, they'll head out of the ballpark. Some will come on back. for the second game of this day-night doubleheader. Another sellout here at the Yard. 201st consecutive sellout for the Phillies. And that youngster, well, hoping for a visit from the green guy. That took a lot of work to put that together.
As you said, it would have been a little tough to catch the foul ball in that.
Ryan Matson in his 59th ball game, 4-2, a 2.54 earned run average. And he'll face Lombardozzi and then Johnny Gomes, who's on deck, and then the top of the order. Nationals, meanwhile, have a righty and a lefty. The lefty's Tom Gorzolani warming up. Fly ball, right field. Brandon Moss coming in. So a quick out for Ryan Matson.
When Stammen's a right-hander, he's a closer. Storen, I mean, is a closer warming up. Drew Storen. Stammen is also available. Another right-hander they have. They have Stammen, Storen, and Slayton.
Not necessarily in that order.
No.
I guess the Nationals are thinking Johnny Gomes is due as a pinch hitter. 16 strikeouts in 26 hitless at bats. And he's pitch hitting here against Matson.
He's a guy who was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in that crazy game in Washington to force in the winning run.
Got him. A called strike three. I don't know if Gomes was looking for a changeup, but he got a fastball right down the chute.
Matt's a very difficult pitcher. Look for a fastball or a changeup with 2 strikes because this is 95. And what are you going to do? Emergency swing and foul it off? You know, you have to sit on a fastball or swing fastball there.
Matson's 1 out away from working a 1-2-3 inning. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities each time the Phillies do that. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. Here's Desmond, who takes a changeup low. Desmond today has been on base twice, once with a fielder's choice. The other time he was hit by a pitch, and he scored a run. Martinez is way over toward the line to third. In fact, he's even with the bag. That one's cracked toward right center. That'll be a base hit for Desmond. He's thinking about 2, but he'll stop after a wide turn.
I think Mayberry was baiting him a little bit then. They had the outfield really deep, so trying not to allow a double out there. And just the way Mayberry was going after that thing, it looked like he had it totally under control. It was like, go ahead. Do you think I'm a little late getting to this?
Here's Roger Bernardina, who homered his last time up. 3-run shot right over the Budweiser sign in right field into the second deck.
That's all the scoring we've had in this game. 2 3-run homers in the 7th inning. This guy Bernardina, and of course Raul Ibanez off the bench with a bomb to right center. .23 steals for Desmond. Never know. Got to think about him over there.
That was a changeup. He hit foul right between the legs of Kratz. 1 ball and 1 strike. There goes the runner. Pitch is taken low. The throw by Kratz not in time. He really had no chance to throw him out because of that changeup in the dirt. And that's the 24th stolen base for Desmond.
Yeah, you thought they might run there at some point. The guy could steal like Desmond. Try and run on a changeup, and they did. Here it is. Tom said not much chance to throw him out with the jump that he got, and then the pitch is slow.
Now it's 2-2. Trying to set up the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Bowker, Valdez, and Mayberry in the bottom of the ninth. Phillies and the Nationals tied at 3. The 2-2 pitch. Thought he had a cutter on the inside part of the plate, but the home plate umpire Mark Carlson didn't think so.
He tried something a little bit different there. His third pitch is that cutter. Oh my.
The changeup floated right back toward the down and in spot, and Bernardino pulled it foul.
Yeah, luckily it was way down and in.
Rick Ankiel on deck. On the hands right in front of the plate. Kratz is there, and Matson gets out of it here in the ninth. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left in scoring position. So we go to the bottom of the ninth here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies and the Nationals tied at 3. John Bowker will lead it off. See if they can get something against Tom Gorzalati. It's time now for our WB Mason deliveries of the game. The 2 3-run home runs of today's ball game. Roger Bernardino in the top of the 7th. That was a long one into the second deck. And then Raul Ibanez, well, off the bench. Ibanez, a pinch hitter. He crushed one against Tyler Clippard. And that tied the ball game up at 3. Those are our WB Mason deliveries of the game. And Gorzalati, 28 ball game, 3 and 6, a 4.13 earned run average. On here in the ninth. Now, he's scheduled to face Bowker, Valdez, and Mayberry, but he's going to face Polanco to pinch hit for John Bowker. Nobody else loosening up in the pen for the Nationals. They have a lot of guys, as we said, in the bullpen, but they've used their fair share already today. Tommy Malone started. He went 6 innings, didn't allow a run. Then Slayton, then Clippard, then Burnett. And now Gorzelati. Michael Stutz is warming in the pen for the Phillies. So here's Polanco to pinch hit. A .244 lifetime hitter as a pinch hitter with a home run. Phillies trying to get the leadoff batter aboard here in the bottom of the ninth.
Polanco's had he's 2 for 9 off this guy. He has a walk. Walk would be fine.
Base hit to center field. So the Phillies have gotten it started here in the ninth. Interesting to see if there is extra innings who the Phillies put at first base. I guess it would be Brandon Moss. Dominic Brown is coming in to pinch run for Polanco. So Polanco gets his job done. Let's see if Valdez is up there to sacrifice with nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Right, he will be. And he's a pretty good bunter too. When they've asked him to put a bunt down, he's done a good job with that.
He's been on base twice today, a single and a walk.
Another reason to run for Polanco. Obviously, you have a faster runner now, Dominic Brown.
And Valdez bunts it foul. That was a tough pitch to bunt fair because it was tailing outside.
It may not have been a strike either. And you know, that's the first thing about bunting. They teach is bunt a strike.
Bunts it foul. And it's 0-2.
He's really been good at that when they've asked him to do it. And not real good on those first two.
They have him do it again?
It's a great question. You know, you really don't want to play extra innings if you can avoid it. You like to get Brown to second. Maybe.
I think they do it.
He's still choking up, so looks like, well, the hand's coming up.
And he bunts it up the third base side. That's a heck of a bunt. Nobody's covering third. Now somebody runs over. The sacrifice is successful. 5-3 on the putout.
One of the hardest things to do, put that bunt down like that with 2 strikes on you. And that was a tremendous job by Valdez. And this is a perfect bunt. Look at him go down and put the head on it, just deaden it.
Here's Mayberry. They'll walk him intentionally with the lefty Brandon Moss on deck.
You know, they know this is going to happen if they bunt here, but you know, Wilson Valdez just hits into too many ground ball double plays to let him swing away, even though you know you're going to lose Mayberry. You're still going to have 2 men on and 1 out instead of, you know, if he were to do that, instead of 2 outs and nobody on base.
So there's intentional ball 4. First and second for Moss. It'll be Moss, then Francisco. So the Phillies will have a couple of shots. Davey Johnson content to see what Gorzelati can do here against Brandon Moss, who struck out his first time up. He came on a pinch run back in the 6th, struck out in the 7th.
And they don't have right-handed hitters available to the Phillies anymore. They do have who? Utley, Howard is not available. Utley, Schneider, Glode.
And Glode, yep. That nearly hit him. I didn't think that was going to break enough to get past him without hitting him.
Yeah, it's a slider that, how did it miss him? Oh, Just missed his elbow.
Last minute. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, is there. The infield fly rule is called. 2 outs here in the 9th. Tonight on Sports Night, get a full recap of this ball game, plus a preview of Game 2, and then the latest on Michael Vick and the Eagles. They prepare for their home opener against the Giants. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night tonight at 6 after Daily News Live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Let's see if Ben Francisco could be a hero here in the bottom of the 9th. First and second, 2 outs, runners taking their lead. And Francisco takes outside. It's 1-0.
Outfielders are really cheating in right now to they're gambling that they can get a ball in front of them, throw Dominic Brown out at the plate. And it'd be a little easier to hit one over their heads. You see how shallow they are. Especially Ankiel in center.
Kratz is on deck. Outside, 2-1. Phillies have good speed at second with Dominic Brown. He's the important one.
And this is where Juan Samuel take a chance too. 2 outs, game like this, bottom of the 9th inning, running on contact, make him throw you out. Good runner, everything about him. You're going to try and score him.
Best to arm in the outfield is the guy in center. That's Ankiel.
Ooh, that's a good one.
3-1 the count to Francisco. The runners lead off. Hit toward third, big hop, and Dominic Brown is retired over at third. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left for the Phillies. On to the 10th here in Philadelphia in a 3-3 ball game. Top of the 10th, it's 3-3. Phillies are 8-9 in extra inning ball games. Meanwhile, the Washington Nationals, we said they're tied right now for 3rd place in the East. They're 11-8 in extra inning games. Ross Glode comes on to play first base for the Phillies. So not many moves left for Charlie Manuel. Michael Stutz is in the ball game to pitch. Stutz 54th game. He's 6-1 with an earned run average of 3.77. And he will face Rick Ankiel, Chris Marrero. Those are the first 2 batters scheduled to hit for Washington.
Phillies and the Nats have played 1 extra inning game this year, and that was the one they lost. We were talking about earlier on the hit batter with Gomes. That was back 21st of August.
Back toward the middle. Charging or tough play. Dug out by Globe.
Whoa. On both ends.
Oh, good play on the first pitch.
Here it is. That's a tough play. He decides to take it straight on. Bounces it. And Globe just into the game. Does a nice job on the hop and then staying on the bag. 1 out.
Here's Marrero. Bixler's on deck. And it's strike one. It's 0-1. It was the bottom of the order due up in the bottom of the 10th. They're trying to keep it at a 3-3 game.
I figured he must have made an appearance. No, I thought Jason Worth came out when they started booing. Yeah, but it's Michael Morse. The booing was for.
Hit hard toward third. Ooh, gobbled up nicely on the glove side by Martinez. 2 outs. 2 very good plays to start the 10th for the Phils infield.
Yeah, that was a ground hugger, and it was hit hard. Tom says this is a really nice play. Watch how low this stays. You really have to keep the glove down, keep your body down. Right here. Good play.
So here is Mike Morse. Mike Morse, 302 hitter with 27 home runs, 86 runs batted in.
What a breakout season this guy's had. He used to be an out. And now he can hit it out anywhere. Reminds you of Stanton a little bit in the way that he's a big, tall guy with power to all fields. Stanton kind of by himself right now as far as that goes, but this guy's right there, maybe next.
Stanton's only 21. Morse has been around too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a breakout season for him because he's been around and never showed. You know, he always showed that he could have hit a ball a mile, but you could really pitch to him. Not now. He would chase a lot of breaking balls.
Morse made it to the big leagues in 2005 with Seattle. You see how he sprays his hits around.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make, is he hits it all over the place, and the park can't hold him anywhere.
When he was with Seattle, he was a shortstop. A big shortstop.
That is a big shortstop.
1-2. Inside, 2-2.
That's what you should be able to do to him. Come in there and maybe jam him or he chase, and then he could go away with breaking stuff to him, and he would be a guy you could pitch to. Now you go away with him 3-2 and miss. You have to think fastball. There you go. There's a difference right there in a nutshell. That's a strikeout on the old Michael Morse. He would swing at that breaking ball like that.
He's got himself a routine before he gets into the box. Ball 4. So he's aboard with 2 outs.
This is where Stutes got hurt the other night. 2 outs, nobody on base, and then 4 straight hits.
So now Danny Espinosa. Espinosa's 1 for 4. the glove of Kratz back to the backstop. And Morse goes up to second. That'll be pass ball. He wasn't fooled on that. He just missed it.
That's a breaking ball. It's supposed to be down, and it's up, but he just doesn't catch it. They're going to walk Espinosa and make Flores beat them.
Phillies have struggled with runners in scoring position today. The Nationals have struggled with runners in scoring position. The teams are combined 3 for 18. They've left 19.
Yeah, 2 big hits.
And now intentional ball 4. So Espinosa's aboard. And Flores being called back to the dugout. It's going to be Ryan Zimmerman they're going to bring up. So the Nationals' best player, Ryan Zimmerman, will pinch hit here in the top of the 10th in a 3-3 game.
Well, we talked about the thunder they had on the bench from the right side if they wanted to start using it. Morse has walked in this inning. Still have Ryan Zimmerman. Here he comes, and Jason Worth is available.
Yeah, the lines, well, they're crossing. Zimmerman this year hitting .289. He has 12 home runs, 48 runs batted in. He had a torn muscle in his stomach earlier this year that kept him on the disabled list. And he'll most likely play game 2 against Cliff Lee. Here, he pinch hits.
Not bad as a pinch hitter. It's 0 for 1 lifetime off Stutes, and it's a strikeout.
Smothered by Kratz. 1 ball and no strikes. Back toward the middle, a flare to center field. Here comes Mayberry. He'll play it on a hop. Heading home is Morse. The throw to the plate, up the line, and the Nationals take the lead. A pinch single for Ryan Zimmerman. It's 4-3 here in the top of the 10th. Boy, at first, I thought it was going to hang up there long enough for Mayberry to make the catch, but then he played back on it to get himself in good position to make a throw.
Yep, hit it right off the end of the bat. As Tom says, he's playing back right there so he could get it a lot behind the throw. But Moore's got a tremendous jump there, of course, with 2 outs running on contact. So once again, Michael Stutes, 2 outs, nobody on base, in trouble. In this case, it was a walk, and it was that 2-2 that Moore stayed off. It was a good, pretty good slider he threw to him. He didn't swing at it.
Inside, 2-0 the count. Lombardozzi is 2 for 4 today. 2 singles, a ground out, and a fly out. Espinosa's over at third. Zimmerman's at second.
Well, he's kind of stuck on scoring 3 runs or less right now.
The liner to right. Here comes Brandon Moss. He dives and he makes the catch. And the inning is over. But the Nationals take the lead on an RBI single by Ryan Zimmerman. A pinch single. He's now 6 for 14 as a pinch hitter. We go to the bottom of the 10th with the Phils down 1. so they're going to have to come from behind again here in extra innings. Couple changes for the Nationals as we begin the bottom of the 10th. Mike Morse, well, he stays in the ball game to play left field for Washington. Washington also has a new battery. Ivan Rodriguez, the future Hall of Famer, is on the catch here in the bottom of the 10th, and he'll catch the closer, Drew Storen. Storen's tied for 5th in the National League with 38 saves. He's blown 5. 6-3 with a 2.94 earned run average. Last year, on the Phillies' path to another National League East championship, he fared in one of the more pivotal games at this ballpark when Jason Worth's home run won it against Storen in a game that seemed all but lost for the Phillies.
And it was such a pivotal game because the next night they were due to start a showdown series. There's Worth, who hit the homer. Pivotal 3-game series with the Atlanta Braves here. The Braves had beaten the Mets that afternoon. Were on their way down from New York, thinking they may be 2 out. I think that's what they would have been. They stayed 3 out. Phillies swept them. They left town 6 out. It was over.
So what we're saying is that this guy has had a successful year. However, might be able to creep into his head a little bit.
They do have Utley available to pinch hit if they want to use him in this inning.
Well, it's Kratz, Orr, and Martinez due up with the Phillies down 1. And a line drive toward left field. That's going to be a base hit. Morse will cut it off before it gets to the wall, but he went after it kind of casually. And because of that, he was playing no doubles. But because of that, Kratz is able to cruise it to second.
Yeah, they were playing deep in that no doubles, don't hit it over my head defense. And he hooked it towards the line a little bit. And Morse, as Tom said, didn't get after it real fast. I mean, you play this defense. It's a fastball. You play this defense so you don't give up a double. And see it hooking away from him. Boy, that's a great shot. You can see the way the ball was hooked. And he couldn't get to it in time to cut it off. So a catcher leads off and gets the second. Now, do you bunt here for the tie? You know, normally you would at home. Sometimes a little tough to bunt a catcher over to third.
Kratz leads off second. Desmond's in his back pocket. By the way, that was his first career double. And Orr takes outside. It's 1-0.
And the answer is no.
Brian Schneider is out on deck to pinch hit for the Phillies. That was a slider that Orr fouled off. Rodriguez was set up outside. It kind of slid inside.
Well, they don't want to necessarily give him anything to pull here. To make it easier for him to pull to get the runner to third, and that pitch is a little easier to pull.
Inside, 2-1.
They're throwing back foot sliders on purpose, it looks like. And the feeling on it is he's not going to pull that pitch. If he does, it'll be foul, and they want him to swing over it.
There's Chase. Ready if they need him. Outside, 3-1.
Now you got a zero in, middle in. Don't even think about anything away from you.
Jason Worth knows what it's like to be in this ballpark when the Phillies are rallying, what it means. It does creep into the other team's head a little bit.
Storen's been through it here, as you said.
And now time is called by Orr with the count 3-1. I should say Rodriguez called time. Well, it was a pitch he could handle. And it's 3-2. velocity-wise, not as quick as Storen normally throws.
Well, we were talking about Clipper a little bit earlier, too. You know, these guys are used a lot. They are really good pitchers, I think, both of Clipper and Storen. But, you know, they've been used a lot the last couple of years especially. You want to throw that back foot slider to him because they're trying to get a strikeout on it, and they figure he can't keep it fair if he hits it. The only thing is, if you make a mistake and it's on the plate a little bit, that's a pitch a left-handed hitter can crush. I'm going to talk it over whether they want to keep doing this. They have not really thrown anything away from him the whole at bat. Or would they go there now?
Line drive foul.
And see, that's what I mean. If you get a little bit on the plate, then it's a little easier to keep it fair. And it's still foul, but that was nowhere near the good ones he'd been throwing earlier. Pudge likes his pitch for him to Orr.
Kratz leads off second. He's the tying run. And Orr's putting a pretty good battle together.
They finally went away, Tom. You know, they did not pitch away in the at bat. That was a really good, as you say, keep the battle going, because total different location than the whole at bat's been. And that's a pitch a lot of times you can maybe strike him out, get him to look at it, roll it over. Roll it over wouldn't be a bad thing. Or they go back out there again, or they come with that slider.
It's going to creep outside.
Yep. This is a really good at bat because they're trying everything. Real cat and mouse game now with all that stuff in, and now two fastballs away.
All this, it began, we were wondering if Pete Orr was going to sacrifice the runner over to third. Charlie Manuel decides to have him swing away. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom of the 10th.
I just pound on that right shin guard to make him think something's coming inside. And that was interesting to watch. You saw him hitting that right shin guard sound down there, and then they went away.
And if hitters aren't going to peek, they know it's probably a decoy, but they can't be 100% sure.
Sure, you can't be peeking. It's 3 straight fastballs away. Hey, no matter what he does here, it's a really good job. Really good at bat. Look what he did again. He hit the glove that time.
Line drive caught by Desmond. He hit it square and 1 out.
Hit the glove, so you would think it was inside, and then threw a fastball away, and that was a great at bat by Orr.
Well, that'll bring Schneider to the plate with still a runner at second.
Desmond was just in a perfect spot.
Take a listen back.
Now, Orr, of course, hears that right under his ear, but it didn't bother him because he got a high fastball away, took it away, and he just hit it right at Desmond. What are you going to do?
Well, Brian Schneider will pinch hit now, so the Phillies use Schneider here. Utley's on deck. 23rd player used in this game by the Phillies. And a slider for a strike to Schneider. It's 0-1.
Pudge is doing all kinds of cat and mouse. He's having a good time. Pounding that glove, pounding his shin guard, trying to confuse the hitters. Another Hall of Famer. Talking about Rivera yesterday. Wow.
He just said that's up. Inside, they check. No swings. This is the third base umpire, Eric Cooper.
Heck of a play, too, by Rodriguez. Control that slider in the dirt. All catchers anticipate a breaking ball in the dirt, and the great ones, they make it look easy.
Three and 2 the count. Well, the Phillies are getting Storin where he's probably not at his best. And let's see if they can capitalize. They have Kratz on second. 3 and 2 to Schneider. Utley's on deck. Got him. 2 outs here in the 10th. Threw him a slider.
Yep, 3-2 breaking ball.
And here comes Utley. Last chance for the Phillies.
Threw a fastball away. You see he's ripping the slider there. Out of the strike zone, but chases.
Get all the highlights and a complete recap of this ball game after the game. Stay tuned for the expert analysis of Chris Coast on Phillies Post-Game Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, right here immediately after the game.
And Chris Coast really talk about what Pudge Rodriguez have been doing there. They're not going to let Utley beat him. They're going to put the winning run on, pitch the Globe. I wonder if they do that.
So there's Glode.
Charlie did this in a game recently
with Prince Fielder. And it worked. So now it's up to Ross Glode with first and second and 2 outs. The tying run is at second. The winning run's at first. Be a nice time for Ross Glode's first home run of the year.
Yeah, or a gapper even.
18 for 72 with 5 RBIs as a pinch hitter.
Morris is trying to figure out what they want him to do in left field. Let's see what they do with their outfield. Well, they're really playing Glode to pull in right. Huge gap in right center. If you watch this, how big this gap is out here. You still haven't seen the right fielder. Here he comes eventually. Right now. Look at this. So they're playing him as a dead pull hitter, leaving the alley open in right center.
So runners lead off with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 10th. And a strike to Globe.
It must be because of the sliders that he's throwing down and in to these left-handed hitters. And there's one right there. They figure if he puts it in play, he's going to pull it and not hit it in the alley in right center field. That's the only reason you play it like this.
Well, maybe he can miss it with one of them and he can pull it there.
Be nice.
Over to shortstop. It's hit hard, but it's an easy hop for Desmond. He has a lot of errors this year, but he's helped out by Marrero, and the Nationals in extra innings have won game 1 of this day-night doubleheader by a final score of 4-3. So Eric Kratz's leadoff double, it put a charge in the crowd, but Davey Johnson watched his closer get out of a jam here in the bottom of the 10th and pick up the save and take the first of this day-night doubleheader in 3 hours and 28 minutes. Our Chevrolet player of the game, well, it turned out to be the guy that had the game-winning RBI for the Nationals. That's Ryan Zimmerman. His pinch hit go-ahead RBI single in the top of the 10th inning turned out to be the game winner for the Nats. So game 1 is in the books. Game 2 is scheduled to begin in about 3 hours from now. 2.5, I should say. 4-3 the final score. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll chat a little bit more about today's first game of this day-night doubleheader.